Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Riiv to receive the top 10 stocks to buy right now. The stock market has absolutely crushed growth stocks and companies that aren't making money over the last 6 months, but that's leaving some intriguing opportunities if you have the appetite to take some big risks. I have one stock that I think could go up 100x over the next 10 years if it's successful in building the business that it wants to. Of course, it could also go to zero, but these are the asymmetric kind of returns that can drive a portfolio. So I want to go over why Virgin Galactic is a stock that I'm really intrigued by right now. Now, if you have comments or questions about Virgin Galactic, please leave those in the comments section below. Hit that like button, and of course, subscribe to the Riiv Project for more on disruptive companies like Virgin Galactic. Now let's get to why I'm so intrigued by this stock. Virgin Galactic has a market capitalization, or the value of all of its stock, of $1.3 billion. But it also has $1.1 billion in cash on the balance sheet. That basically means that investors are putting very little value on the future earnings of Virgin Galactic and think that it's only worth slightly more than the cash it has simply on the balance sheet. They may even be worried that they're going to burn that cash up over time because they are using about $100 to $150 million in cash on a quarterly basis. So why is the reason to be optimistic for Virgin Galactic? Well, the company says it's going to start commercial operations for its space tourism in Q2 2023. Now, that's only 2 quarters away. And remember that they increased their ticket prices to $400,000 per ticket. There are 6 seats on the aircraft, so they could generate $2.4 million in revenue at the low end just for a space flight that takes about 30 minutes. Management has also projected that they'll be able to generate about $1 billion per spaceport. They're currently just operating out of New Mexico, but it's possible that they could build these spaceports all over the world. It's not out of the realm of possibility to see 10 or maybe a dozen of these spaceports 10 years from now if the business model is successful and they can successfully complete these flights. So this all sounds great, right? But why is the stock down where it is currently? Well, the reason is that Virgin Galactic has had a number of delays that have pushed the company back 2 or 3 years, depending on what kind of projections you're looking at when they went public. There were safety delays that they had a couple of years ago. And then the last year has really been a series of delays to basically make the flights more efficient, have less maintenance between each flight, and hopefully make the business more efficient and profitable over time. That's at least the way that management is spinning it, but there's no question there's been delays, and that's why the market is really skeptical about basically everything that management says at this point. So why am I bullish on space tourism, and why is a $400,000 flight even intriguing in the least? As crazy as it sounds, over time we should see the cost of these space tourist flights come down. Management, when they went public via SPAC, projected that in time we may see ticket prices go down to about $50,000 a piece. Now that's still very expensive, but if you think about this as like a high-end bachelor party or the alternative to another high-end trip, there's plenty of people in the world who can afford $50,000 for that sort of experience. It's not every day that people get to go into space. There's only about 1,000 people who have ever flown in space at all. So $50,000, $400,000, if you have the funds to do that, that could be really attractive. If Virgin Galactic can build both the experience and the safe flight, I think there's a really big market there. $1 billion in revenue just from their current spaceport and expanding that to a dozen spaceports, I don't think is out of the realm of possibility long term. The other thing they have from a potential standpoint is an aircraft that they're developing that could do Mach speed travel. Now, this is kind of an out there idea, but they're talking about developing an aircraft that could do Mach 3. This would cut down travel time. Now, again, tickets may be $25,000, $50,000, but if you think about the alternative being a private jet, which costs $20,000 just to get off the ground, this could be an interesting product for the ultra wealthy if they can develop a plane like that. This is where you get to the 100x potential for a company like Virgin Galactic over the next 10 years. This is absolutely not a stock without its risks. I call this a 0x or 100x stock because I think this is the kind of company that either succeeds or it fails trying to get where it's trying to go. So investors interested in Virgin Galactic need to have that mindset when they're looking at the stock. But I think right now with shares trading at just over the cash value that's on the balance sheet, this is a really intriguing stock just given the upside. If Virgin Galactic can reach space again, if they can build more spaceports, and finished design and build of a Mach speed aircraft, this could absolutely be a $100 billion company. I own shares of this stock and I'm considering adding more at the current prices because I really like where Virgin Galactic is going. I think space is going to become much more accessible over the next 10 years. The company just has to get there without going bankrupt first, and that will be the challenge. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the Riiv Project for more interesting and disruptive companies like Virgin Galactic, and I will see you here next time.